awakening, enlightenment. Enlightenment is the ultimate goal of our life. We all want happiness, eternal happiness. That will pave the way for eternal happiness. Not happiness in piecemeal, not happiness in part. The happiness that we can get from this world is only small, insignificant compared to that joy which you get when you get enlightenment. So, by serving others, we help ourselves in the sense that there is the best way, there is the best means to have our spiritual consciousness awakened. We cannot help anybody in the world. Swami says in his Karma Yoga lectures. It's the creation. The world is created by God. Okay? If you say that I can help the world, say that I can help God, it's a blasphemy. It's a sacrilege. Don't ever dare to say that I can help God. We can only help ourselves. It's a privilege. So by helping others, we can help ourselves. The true sense of the term. If you look at today's society, they don't know how to make themselves happy, how to serve themselves, how to really help themselves. So we are body-centered. Okay, we all have body consciousness. Today, if you look at an average person, all the time he will be thinking about himself. My settlement, my goals, my life, all the time the I is weighing heavily upon himself. So what our scriptures say, what our Vedanta say is that if you can let go this I, you are in consciousness, you are in simple bliss. By nature you are God, but we are wrongly identified ourselves as bodies and mind complex. And that's the reason we get so much of misery in the world. For man, you are essentially divine. That's the message of the Upanishads. Discover that divinity. You have to discover. Swamiji, when he was giving a talk in America, and he was speaking so forcefully, and the audience felt that he was trying to hypnotize them. Swami said, Madam, I am not hypnotizing you. I am trying to de-hypnotize you. You have already been hypnotized into believing that you are the body, and I am trying to de-hypnotize. I want to make you believe that you are not the body mind, but you are the soul and the consciousness that sustains, that supports. It's the substratum of your being. It's the true dimension, true personality of your being. So in Ramakrishna Math and Mission, Swami Vivekananda started this in 1897. Here, we serve others. There are different kinds of service. If a rickshaw puller, if I want to preach philosophy of the Bhagavad Gita, you cannot understand. If I want to help him, though helping others by giving them spiritual knowledge is the highest help that we can do. But everybody is not competent to receive that. The hungry man comes to you and if you want to preach philosophy, will it make any sense? You cannot. So he needs food. Just give him food and satisfy his hunger. And that's how we can help him. But that is not the highest help because again by evening he feels hungry. Okay? Again next morning again he feels hungry. So that's only a small help you have done. See, a help is great and becomes greater as the need is greater and as it has far-reaching effects. Suppose if you help a man with spiritual knowledge, and if you help him to come out of this transmigrated cycle of life and death, that is the highest help that you can do. That's the reason spiritual help and disseminating spiritual knowledge is the highest help. And second best is the Swami says is secular knowledge. Education helps man to think, to stand on his own legs. See, villages now you see, for the last 50 years, so many 5-year plans have been implemented. There's still 30 to 40% of the people are still below poverty line. Why this has happened? And if you go to villages, you find a situation, they will be expecting all the time somebody from the outside to help them. They just want to take that help and just want to live on that help only. And over a period of time, a parasitic tendency develops. They don't want to help themselves. They don't want to come up in line. That zeal, enthusiasm, the self-motivation is not there with them. Vedanta is considered tamas, inertia, sloth. You have to raise them up from that state of tamas and inertia. How can you do that? By giving them education, by giving them ideas. If you give them education and they help themselves, they know how to help themselves. So education, giving secular knowledge, also is the second best, he says, Swamiji. And lower to that is helping them, giving them life. Suppose somebody is sick, you give him medical assistance. That's also a good help. And lowest of all the helps is giving anna. But in scriptures, many of the people you saying annadana is the highest of the danas. But in the Upanishads and in Vedanta, they said that it is the lowest. Swami again and again says, give them spiritual knowledge and that is the highest help. But again, in all the sections of the society, they are not in a position to teach. Now we teach spoken English here. If I say that I will teach Swami Vivekananda's teachings, I will give you Swami Vivekananda's teachings, the world will come here. Is it not? And they want to equip themselves. And they want a job, upadhi. And they want some help. They want to develop their soft skill, communication skill. And for that they come over here. And when they come over here, and then we try to give some of the thoughts of Swamiji that help them to become a better human being and a better person. Okay? Though it's a secular knowledge we are giving, spoken English, why should a spiritual organization should teach spoken English? It doesn't make sense. We have to teach only Sanskrit. Many of them ask, Swamiji, you are a spiritual organization, a Hindu organization, why you want to teach spoken English? What you have got to do with spoken English? You teach Sanskrit. But how many people will come forward to learn Sanskrit? No. So what they want, what they need that skill, communication skill, and they want to empower themselves with that, and so we teach them the language. So along with that, that is, they don't know actually. Along with that, if you give few ideas of Swamiji, that helps them to become a better person in the society. They can face the challenges of life better if you have that right kind of knowledge. That knowledge is with here, with Vivekananda. That's how actually we started this Spoken English Institute, and actually know that it has been a phenomenal success. Actually, we are not able to cater the demand. Every session, we can only admit 3,000 to 4,000 students, and our demand is for 10,000 students. So again, Annadana we do here in Mati. Afternoon, we feed about 250 to 300 people every day. There are poor people, and I can't teach them spoken English, they don't need that. I can't give them education, they don't need that. They are already 35 party. Education and others help them. But they want food, they are hungry souls. And just give them physical food. That's also help. They can only receive that kind of help. And again, we have temple here, we have Bhajan Satsang, spiritual help. People by chanting divine name, and they make themselves pure, they become blessed. They will have contemplation of mind, they will attain purity, the friend said. So that's also a kind of help. And also we have literature as a bookstall. You read books, Life of Vivekananda, Life of Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, and that will inspire you, inspiring biographies, original men, they are men of God, and that's also help. Highest help in fact. So as the person actually, we have different sections of the society. India is a very heterogeneous society. There is cultural diversity, there are social inequities are there, economic inequities are there, and so much of diversity is here. And Swami Vivekananda wanted a service organization that can take care of the entire society in the sense that it can cater to all the sections of the society, not just leaving out some sections. But there are so many spiritual organizations, they ask the Ramakrishna Mission is a social service organization. No, we don't do social service here. Please bear in mind, it's not an NGO, it's not a social service organization, we give spiritual help. And the service we do is a part of puja, part of worship. As I said already, that God has not fallen in ditch water to seek our help, Swami also said. God has not fallen in ditch water to seek your help. Consider it as a blessing, consider it as a privilege. When you help somebody, not with an egoistic attitude that I am superior to him and I have been more blessed and more privileged. Not with that kind of attitude. With humble reverence, with complete self-effacement you ought to serve. We say it's Narayana Seva, we don't call it spoon feeding. Narayana Seva, we are serving the Narayana only in that form. Lord only comes in that form. As we say that God is dwelling in all the human beings, from the back. He is there in all human beings. Swami says God is there in all beings, but His manifestation is the greatest in human being. If all beings are temples of God, man is the Taj Mahal among those temples. So helping man is the highest. May help other creatures also. There are a good number of people who feed cows with, bananas, jaggery and everything. And they think that gives them a lot of it. It does, it definitely. When we help a man, it's still great. So here the focus is on man. Helping man in whatever way is possible. And the attitude is that we are not helping anybody. We are only serving the Lord. It's not the word help. It's a service. Service as, believing it as puja. The worship which we do in the temple and the service we do through Narayana Seva or teaching spoken English is one and the same for us. It's equal, on par. We don't make any distinction between this and that. It's also worship. Only when you cultivate that attitude that I am not serving human beings, but I am serving God. It's worship for me. When you have that attitude, yoga or service you do to others helps you to progress spiritually, to discover your own real being, your dimension, your infinite and immortal dimension. And with that, actually that is the goal. Setting that as our goal, actually we work here. But many of them understand that, Ramakrishna Mission, when there are natural calamities, Ramakrishna Mission is the first organization to be there. And people think that it is a social service organization. No, not at all. There also, the Lord is in distress. In the sense that the people in form of the Lord. Lord in the form of poor people. They are in distress. Go there, try to mitigate their suffering. Thereby we make our lives blessed. It's a blessed opportunity, it's a blessed privilege to serve the people who are in distress. With that attitude, we go over there and we will immediate help, and then we come back. Sometimes we do the second relief also, construction of houses, suppose if there are floods and earthquakes. It doesn't mean that we will be waiting for such natural calamities to happen. We should always pray that there should not be any natural calamity and the person should not suffer at all. But still they do happen, as become part and parcel of life. And Lord, maybe just to teach lesson to man, that to make man surrender to Him, His will, and maybe now and then the natural calamities are happening, and they do happen, and they may also happen in future also. But whenever such a situation arises, your dharma and your responsibility is to mitigate the suffering, and thereby you can make yourself blessed. When you have this attitude, full attitude, then only actually you can take advantage of the service that will really help you. Otherwise, it's just a work, that's all. Many of the social service organizations and non-government organizations, they do that. And they consider it that they are far superior to the people who are taking the service from them. Swami clearly says it's not the receiver who is blessed, but it's a giver. Man who gives is the blessed person, not the man who takes. So you should be thankful to him, the person who has received help from him, from you. You should be thankful to the receiver, not that you should expect gratitude from him and you should express thanks to him. But you see, generally, and we do some help to a person, I am ungrateful, I have done so much for him, but still he doesn't remember, does not even express gratitude, but it's not that. It's not the receiver who is blessed, it's the giver who is blessed. So if somebody comes and somebody gives an opportunity to serve you, to help, to make you do some service and be blessed, and you be thankful to him and don't expect any gratitude from him. That is the attitude, true attitude of service of Karma Yoga. Swamiji started Ramakrishna Mission in 1897, and we started hospitals in 1899, and Vrindavan, Varanasi, and also in Haridwar. And Swamiji, during his wandering days, he saw many of the poor sadhus there suffering, not getting any medical care. There was nobody who could take care of them. There are sadhus who there renounced the world, no family. So we wanted to help them. We wanted to start a hospital there. And we started the hospital, and Ramakrishna Mission sadhus started doing seva. So in hospitals you need, what kind of service, just like a nurse. You have to nurse the patient, and you have to put the bedpan, and you have to remove the clothes, and all sorts of service you have to do. But the traditional sadhus of Uttarakhand, Haridwar and Rishikesh, they hated this. What are you doing? You are a holy man. Why are you doing this kind of service? Like scavengers have to do this kind of service. They used to call Ramakrishna Mission sadhus Bangi sadhus. They used to call Ramakrishna Mission sadhus Bangi sadhus. They made literally Ramakrishna Mission sadhus untouchables. The traditional sadhu, what they do regularly, they just read Shankara Bhashyas, they read Vedanta, the world is Maya. Okay, there is no true world, it's all the appearance. See, world is not there, but you want food, and you go every day, your stomach, you remember the body, you remember your hunger and everything, but you say, keep on saying the world is not there, world is not there. See, it's only in theory. World becomes unreal for whom? For the man who had attained enlightenment, for whom the world will become unreal, not before. Buddha could say that world is unreal, he had attained enlightenment. Ramakrishna could say, but a person who has not realized that ultimate truth, and if you keep on saying that the world is unreal, then why you take food? The world is unreal, the body is real, when you feel hunger and you take food. At the same time, others also do that. You can say that others also have the same state. Then you have to do some help. But they, instead of appreciating, instead of encouraging us, and to discourage us, Ramakrishna Mission sadhus were literally made untouchables. We were not invited for any bandara. Bandara means they actually, these feasts, Uttarakhand, the Haridwar and Rishikesh, the devotees will organize the feasts. They think that by feeding sadhus they get merit, they get punya. And for such feasts, Ramakrishna Mission sadhus were never invited in those days, 100 years back. And over a period of time, later on, they all changed. And now, the Ramakrishna Mission sadhus are the highly respected sadhus, even in places like Haridwar Maharaj Rishikesh. And now they have understood there is no point in day and night thinking that the world is unclear, the world is unclear. It doesn't help us much. And you also need to take service as a form of worship. And they have not understood this philosophy of service. Swami Shitikanthananda, service not for the sake of service. Service was helping yourself spiritually. So here is a philosophy. They have not read that philosophy. It's playing Bhagavad Gita also, but the introduction is not correct. They do not understand, do not grasp that. Krishna also says, do work with detachment. It's Nisanga Buddhi, do work, he says. Brahmanyevadikaraste Maharaj Kadachana. He never said that you should not do work. Krishna said that actually if you do work with detachment, that is the highest thing, not withdraw from the work. You cannot withdraw from the work. So long as you have the body, you need to do work. Definitely, because you need food, so you have to engage yourself in work. So what should be your attitude towards work? Detachment. Perfect detachment you need to work. You should consider yourself as an instrument of God. You should consider yourself as a privilege given by God. Only when you do work and service with this kind of attitude, you can really help yourself spiritually. And in Ramakrishna mission, we have been doing this for the last 115 years. And still, many of them, they do not know the philosophy behind the service. We are here to help ourselves, not to help the world, not to help the society. We cannot help the society, we cannot help the world. We are very clear about that. We are very clear about that. And the problem with the society is, they do not know that they have a spiritual dimension. They are only living for the body. The lowest dimension of your personality. You have three dimensions: body, mind, and soul, or consciousness. The lowest dimension is body. And you want job, you want money, all for what? Just for taking care of the physical needs, body needs. But body is the lowest dimension of you. Unfortunately, the whole civilization today is stagnant at the physical level, the material level, the body level. We are not even thinking about the mind. We have neglected the mind, and the result is today's society, 85% to 90% of our thoughts are negative thoughts. The society has become so big, all the diseases now the doctors call it psychosomatic diseases, mind-borne diseases. First mind becomes weak, naturally the body becomes weak. The mind is strong, body becomes always weak. Body becomes strong automatically. So need to cultivate the mind. The civilization has become stagnant at a body level, and they are not even taking their mind into consideration. Even when you go to an hospital, allopathic hospital, they don't have mind, they don't treat. They don't know anything about the mind. They just treat the body, symptomatic treatment. Why the body has fallen sick in the first place? Because the mind has become weak. Because they don't know anything about the mind, they don't know anything about the background of the patient, what made him weak, why he contracted the disease. And that's why, you see, the second dimension, the mental dimension, is more important than the physical dimension. And higher than these two, body and mind, is the soul or consciousness. Karma Yoga helps you to manifest the divine within. Swami says each soul is potentially divine, the goal is to manifest divinity within. First you have to believe that there is a divine dimension in your personality, there is a divine spark in your being, and then you should try to manifest that. And the service that you do helps you to manifest that in the shortest span of time. And particularly in a country like India, a very heterogeneous society where there is so much of poverty, there are so many people who are in need of help. And it's a blessed privilege. And no other country, I say with conviction, and no other country, this kind of ideal situation prevails for practicing Karma Yoga. Today, survivors of America, the socio-economic disparities are not there practically. The basic needs of all the entire population is relatively fulfilled. And this much of poverty is not there. So if you want to donate some money to a beggar, here we have beggars, and you give some money and they will become less. And he will express his gratitude. But in America, you don't find beggars in countries there. There is no way the question of expansion. So expansion is like contraction. It doesn't mean that we can't just pray for beggars to be there in our society. Not at all. But it's a fact. Where beggars are there. We don't want India beggars to be there in our society, but they are there. It's not in our hands. So what you do, how can you take advantage of such a situation? Help them. Just a 1 rupee coin, 2 rupee coin also. Actually, He'll bless you. See, the Lord in them will bless you. Lord says in the Bhagavad Gita and also in Bhagavad it is said, there is a Lord. Yogis and also in poor people. Why Lord is only yogis and poor people? Is he not there in other people? Yeah, he is there in all beings. But his manifestation is greatest in yogis and poor people. Those poor who are meek. Poor people are always humble. I go to villages in Warangal and Maharaj district, and you see, we may say that we are educated people, but they are so simple and so guileless. Sri Ramakrishna used to say, guileless man leaders is God. But our education has made us very complex persons. We are very calculative, we are very crafty, we are very diplomatic. The whole education is making us more and more complex. The person, he doesn't have formal education, but he is very simple. And he believes you immediately. You do little service and he God. And he expresses so much of gratitude, unbelievable. But what I have done, and this man is expressing so much of gratitude. He's so thankful to me. It's nothing. What I have done is nothing, petty and paltry. So because they are poor, they are weak, that's why God says, I dwell in poor people and also I dwell in yogis. The manifestation of the Lord is greatest in these two sections of the society. We are in between, and by serving the poor actually, we can make our spiritual dimension manifest more and more. Swami says each soul is potentially divine. That potential divinity, first you must believe in, and then you should try to manifest that. Then only the life becomes fulfilled, life becomes meaningful. Now look at the people. They make a lot of money. And what they do at the age of 70 and 80, if you go and put into their private lives, into their minds, do they feel really fulfilled? I have achieved everything in life, I am completely happy, completely satisfied. Anybody saying this? Nobody says that. Why? Yeah, the sense of satisfaction, the sense of fulfillment in life has not come. It will not come because they have never explored the spiritual dimension. All the money, properties, how much you can enjoy. They are all physical, body. We have a limitation, an organic limitation. Beyond a point, you cannot enjoy yourself. Even in middle classes. Because you have money, you cannot eat 10 times food. Because you have money, you can time-manage the travel in 10 cars. Not possible. The body itself restricts you. There are limitations beyond which mind is not only useless but dangerous. But still people are mad after that. So wild goose chase they are. They think that money and position will give them real happiness and joy, but it doesn't give. But when they will understand that, at the age of 70 or 80, by then it's too late to put anything, any great idea into practice. So have the spiritual goal in life first of all. And the purpose of all the camp area, you should have right choices, right objectives and right priorities. First decide in your life what you want. And then actually mold your life. It should be very clear. But if you look at the society, many of them, the goal itself is not very clear. Swami says the man with 19 does 1,000 mistakes, I am sure the man with 19 does 50,000 mistakes. The same thing happening in society. As I said, that civilization is stagnated at a physical level. The second dimension, mind itself has been neglected. Full of negative thoughts, 80 to 90% of God an average man. All the diseases, psychosomatic, mind born. We need to cultivate the mind. We need to give more importance to the mind than the body. We feed our body with food 3 times a day. More than the body is the mind that you need to feed. With what? With positive thoughts. What is food? What forms food for the mind? Positive thought, good thoughts. Keep on feeding your mind with positive thoughts and good thoughts, day after day, day after day. And then mind becomes positive. How much of energy you can manifest to see. Again, prayer, things like prayer, repetition of God's name. Yesterday evening you attended the bhajan. The repetition of God's name also makes you, that helps you to manifest the divine. The service you do that helps you to manifest the divine. And again, the Advaitic outlook towards life. You know that most of the negative thoughts are because that we all think that we are all different from each other. You are different from me. I have nothing to do with you. We are completely different entity, different personality, and different entity, different personality. We differ from each other only in body and mind. But body and mind are unreal entities, the lower dimensions. Supporting these two, beyond these two, the spirit, the soul, the consciousness, Godhead, that is the true dimension of your personality, that is same in all. That is the eternal and immortal dimension of your personality. Because the immortal dimension is the same in all, so you ought to love others. The best way to love yourself is to love others. The best way to help yourself is to help others. That infinite dimension, immortal dimension, consciousness, when you are aware of that, all this dual consciousness will go away. Veda Drushti, they say. Dual consciousness. You are different from me. I need to compete with you. No. We grow by cooperation, not by competition. By helping each other, we grow. Lord doesn't mean that Lord did not create the creation. He never wanted that his children should compete with each other and to regenerate themselves thereby. He wants his children to help each other and grow thereby spiritually. But unfortunately, we have misread his intentions. We have misread the purpose of creation. And then we have identified with the bodies and we think to survive in this competitive life, I should, if not directly, indirectly I should exploit others. Corruption. Somebody is corrupt. Why he is corrupt? He thinks that he can help himself thereby. By money if I have, I can make my life happy. But thereby you are exploiting the other man from whom you are taking bribe. You are giving pain to him. Unconsciously, you are giving pain to him, you are exploiting him. So we are trying to grow at the expense of each other, which is wrong. You have to help others. and thereby you can help yourself. And if this idea is very clear in your mind, if you try to put a little into practice, Swami says even a thought, completely unselfish thought, don't expect anything. Just pray every day, that all people be happy. Just a prayer, a thought, you just send it to the world again and again, every day, and that expands your consciousness. So it says expands is life, it contracts death. Just a small thought. This is how you need to cultivate the mind and the soul. And if you neglect these two, I am sure the life will become a tragedy, as it is the rest of the society today. Well, it has become a tragedy in the majority because of the other two dimensions they are not aware of. So my friends, we try to read the book Karma Yoga of Swami Shitikanthananda. These ideas are beautifully enunciated there. All the lectures were given in America and London. Karma Yoga, beautiful lectures. Why should we serve others? The concepts will become very clear for you. The language is very simple. I am sure you will become very blessed if you read that book. Okay, only 5 minutes more time is there. If you have any questions, you are welcome. See, suppose if you come to me, I don't have to feed you because you have food already. Okay? If you come to me, then what I will do, I will switch your thought to you because you are ready to receive that. If a poor man comes, I cannot give him directly the spiritual food because spiritual food is waste. I will give the material food to him first. And then afterwards, if he is ready, he is prepared, then I will give him spiritual thought. But spiritual thought also you won't be able to receive. Better than secular education. You need to give education also. Okay? I cannot ask you to read a book on Swamiji, an illiterate person. You will not be able. Just fast, he is hungry and he gives a physical food to him, that's all. See, I told you, it depends upon your status, where you are in social hierarchy. An illiterate person, an educated person, a hungry man, someone say to feed him. That is the highest level you can do that. Okay? Which is greater, you are asking me? Which is spiritual help is highest naturally, but he is not in a position to take that help. But what he can take, what he needs, that only you need to give up. See, ultimately it's all to help yourself, not to help the man. Got the point? And if a poor man, hungry man comes and says, I will give a talk on Bhagavad Gita, it doesn't make sense. Okay? Depends on whether he is in a position to receive that kind of help or not. So what they need, you give. Help yourself. All the help that you are giving to society and service that you are giving to society is to help yourself. And have that idea always in mind. Okay? Very good. Now, Ramakrishna mission, as Swami Shitikanthananda wanted us to combine all these 4 yogas in harmonious proportion, 25% ratio. Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, and Raja Yoga. Yesterday you attended the bhajan, satsang. Today is Bhakti Yoga, repetition of God's name. And it today is giving some service. Okay? Karma Yoga. Okay? And again, you are meditated in the morning. Samsara, that is Raja Yoga. Again, Jnana Yoga means, seeing God in everything. Jnana Yoga, there are so many ways you can interpret it, so many ideas are there. The basic idea, as I just said, most of the reason for negative thoughts is we think we are all separate from each other. We are all completely different from each other. So just have the thought that whatever that exists in the world is only God. Don't see people as people, but as manifestations of forms of God. And then all your negative thoughts will go away. Jealousy, hatred, envy, anger, all our negative thoughts will get controlled. If you have this one Advaitic thought, you just don't interact with people as if they are persons, human beings, ordinary human beings. They are only forms of God. Keep cannot superimpose the God on everything you see, Swami says. Just don't see the world as word. Try to superimpose God on everything you see. And then actually all these negative thoughts will vanish from your mind. And then you get the highest concentration of mind and you can achieve success in the shortest time of time. Whatever you may be, whatever may be your field, chosen field. If you get my point, what is Jnana Yoga? So try to superimpose God on everything you see. Isa Vasya Vidam Sarvam. The Isha Vasya Upanishad, the first stanza that is. So you try to superimpose God on everything that you see in the world. So I see the Veda Drushti, the differentiation, the dual consciousness is all in ignorance, because of ignorance. You are not touching the spiritual dimension, you are not aware of that. Because you live at a body level, you identify with the body and you see the world also as different people, as different bodies, that's all. When you touch the spirit deep within you and you see the whole world. So what kind of outlook in Buddha had, Vivekananda had, Ramakrishna Paramahamsa had, you could see only God and everything and everybody. So that kind of spiritual awareness will help you to control the mind. All these negative feelings will go away, and when that is gone, then you can achieve the equanimity of mind, perfect tranquility and calmness. When you have that, you have the highest concentration of mind. You know that for any success in life, concentration is the secret. To have the highest concentration of mind, this is the way. Try to superimpose God on everything you see. You don't see people as people, but as forms of God. From this way, you make that resolve. You don't want to see people as people, they are all forms of God for me. Just thought. Keep on superimposing that thought every day. Cultivate it. And there comes a stage, there comes a point in your life, you see everything really as God. Really as a manifestation of the consciousness. That will be the highest state you can aspire for. Please.
Swamiji, after you posed the first question and after listening to your words, I understood that we should serve God in order to help ourselves to attain enlightenment. Is that it?
Yeah.
So by enlightenment, I mean, it might not happen over one lifetime, but what are the processes?
Yeah, see, in Buddha also, before that last birth, where he had enlightenment, he had around 554 births he had. Many of those births were animal births. See, Jataka tells, you might have heard of that, some of the stories. So, in every birth, in many of those births, he was an animal. Buddha was birth as an animal. But even in those animal bodies also, he was highly self-sacrificing. So he kept up that, birth after that. And then he had developed the deepest dispassion and highest dispassion and vairagya when he was born as Gautama, Siddhartha, and then in that birth he had realized God. See, whatever the little effort the put, it will not go in vain. It will come with you to the next world. You will not become Buddhas overnight. It's a long-term process, but it doesn't matter. But you are rightly resolved. What I mean to say that I should have a clear goal in life. This is the highest goal. This is the purpose of human life. Ramakrishna says the purpose of human life is God realization. You set that as your goal. You may or may not achieve the highest God realization or this enlightenment. It doesn't matter. Because you have used the life for the right purpose. Otherwise, if you just go run after the money and after a point of time you cannot really enjoy that money, it's all useless for you. And the same thing which you have accumulated will prove a bondage for you. That's what's happening. Okay, did you get my point? Yeah, you are asked to see God's hand there also. Because there is nothing outside God. Everything we say is Leela or sport. You are asked to be righteous for what? Okay? The righteousness helps you to manifest the God within you. If you want to be unrighteous, it's fine. What it does to you, it will create more bondage. It will put you more into ignorance. Okay? Your misery will increase more. So ultimately there is nothing like absolutely bad, there is nothing like absolutely good. Okay? These two are relating terms and relating words. The Vedanta asks you to go beyond good and bad. The Lord lies beyond these two. And so they say, why there is so much of misery, why there is so much of negative things in the world, why there are so many bad and wicked, evil people in the world. That's all Lord's Leela. So in cinema when you watch, you need to have a hero and villain also. Because the world is great drama, great cinema. To be a spectator. See, you don't identify with the villain or you don't identify with the hero. You just see, you're a spectator. It's only cinema for you. The world is also like that. It's just Leela, it's a sport, it's a play of the Lord. And you don't take things seriously. So even the wicked man, so-called wicked man of today, will become moral, will become righteous tomorrow, definitely. Because he will get his blows. Okay, he will reap more misery. Then he will give up that, and then he comes to goodness. And after that, he will go beyond good and bad, and he will realize the spiritual dimension. When you realize the spiritual dimension, you understand that the world is but just a Leela and sport. You don't, you should not take things too seriously. That helps you. But if you think the world is real, and the world is bad, you hate him. See, by hating others, you hate yourself. Because there's only one God that exists.
Actually, this is actually I'm 85% vision loss person, So yesterday Swami said that about the self-discipline. So according to my disability, I think that I'm able to do some such things. But other persons will be saying that we cannot do. So then I need to argue with such people. Then I'll be losing my self-discipline. Then what way I need to go?
You once more, please come a little forward. Just keep in mind. You can sit down. Just sit down. Work means, you see, helping the society or helping the world means not necessarily giving physical things. No, you can just pray. The world will not know. Swami says the greatest of the men are calm, silent and unknown. The greatest of the men are calm, silent and unknown. He gives a bold statement in his Karma Yoga talks. Buddhas and Christs are second-rate heroes, he says. You imagine from what platform he was speaking when he said these words. Buddhas and Christs are second-rate heroes. Then go the first-rate. Swami says, first-rate people who don't come into the society. They sit somewhere in caves. And they pray for the world, for the well-being of the society. And then they pass on from this world. You don't know anything about them. You know the Mahavir Jain. He was 24th Tirthankara. Before him there were 23 Tirthankaras. About whom we do not know anything about. And actually it was they who did real good to the society. And the 24th Tirthankara Mahavira was just the manifestation, condensed manifestation of their thoughts. So society, doing good to society doesn't mean that we need to do physical help and other people should see what we are doing. Not necessarily. You just pray for the well-being of the society and just pray to the Lord. That is highest help you can do. You don't try to satisfy them. You just live for the sake of God. Whether they understand or they don't understand, it's not your consideration and you should not bother about that. And many of the problems today with us in our society, we want everybody to understand and appreciate our efforts. Many of the cases they misunderstand and they oppose, they ridicule. If you are rightly resolved, the first thing actually you will be ridiculed. You will get opposition from the society. But you should not get unnerved by that. You should have faith, strong conviction in the power of the Lord. And then you should go forward. And in the end, they all will appreciate. Appreciation will come in the end, not in the beginning. The beginning only ridicule and opposition comes. Okay? Thank you all. Swami has come.
Yes.
One 100 to 120 members are there here. According to my knowledge, so I wish
Yes, yes. They have lifted their hands and they have give their numbers to you. Okay, we get God bless you.